Welcome to League of Legends Champions Spotlight, featuring Fiddlesticks, the Harbinger of Doom. Fiddlesticks is a medium-ranged mage, adept at crowd control, area of effect damage, and jungling. Fiddlesticks' passive is Dread. All nearby enemies have reduced magic resist. Terrify inflicts target enemy with fear for a few seconds, slowing it and causing it to run around randomly. I take Terrify at level 4 and max it by level 13. Drain channels on target enemy, damaging it and returning a percentage of that damage as health to Fiddlesticks. I take Drain at level 1 and max it immediately. Dark Wind sends out a bouncing nuke that damages and silences enemies with each hit. I take Dark Wind at level 2 and leave it there. Crowstorm is Fiddlesticks' ultimate. After a brief channel, Fiddlesticks blinks to target location, and for the next few seconds deals massive damage to nearby enemies. One common jungle route is to start at the Ancient Golem and have a teammate attack them to give you some free damage. Even if you fail the pull, simply move to the opposite end of the camp in between drain cooldowns and take it down with Smite. Your goal should be to get level 6 as soon as possible to gank with Crowstorm. Find a lane to gank and channel Crowstorm from the brush. Note that I chase Akali purely with basic movement until she uses Flash to escape. I follow her with my own Flash and pick up the kill. Fiddlesticks is an exceptional dragon threat. Upon reaching level 5 or higher, buy a Vision Ward and a Sight Ward. Place the Vision Ward near Dragon to check for enemy wards, and place the Sight Ward to watch for enemy ganks. Then pull your teammates over and tank the Dragon with Drain. Make sure to check how much damage your Smite will deal to ensure you get the killing blow. Fiddlesticks is also exceptional at taking Baron Nashor. For these, you'll typically want to take the Golem buff and walk into melee range, as you'll be able to heal all of his damage and ignore his debuffs. In teamfights, you'll want to surprise your opponents from the Fog of War. Here our enemies collapse in near our base, so I channel Crowstorm from behind the wall. I try to move to stay in range of my enemies, but not easily attacked by champions like Blitzcrank. I flash in after Cho'Gath, taking him down with Drain. As we try to clean up on Udyr, I head into the brush and wait on cooldowns. I start in with Drain, and when he breaks the channel, I use Terrify and recast Drain for the kill. Constantly think about casting over walls, even when simply walking around the map. As my team meets up near our jungle, I stay about one screen away toward the right side. As our enemies pile in to fight my teammates, I Crowstorm over the wall and immediately cast Dark Wind, then Terrify, then Drain. Pay special attention to your health bar. As soon as you start to take damage, activate Zhonya's Hourglass. As a result of excellent positioning, we take 3 kills for only 1 death. At higher levels of Drain, and with some ability power, you can solo the dragon even without Golem buff. In this instance, it's safer to drain it from the back of its cave, attacking in between drain cooldowns. If your opponents try to gank you, just flash backward over the wall. Even with the element of surprise, some champions are excellent counters to Fiddlesticks. Here I get the drop on 4 opponents, flashing into the middle of them. Alistar makes the great play of headbutting me away from his team and keeping me there with Pulverize. While Lee Sin does fall, the rest of his team walks away alive. To ensure you can surprise your opponents, carry an Oracle's Elixir if you feel safe. This way you can always clear enemy wards to start your Crowstorm undetected. You also want to exercise patience in teamfights. Because Crowstorm is such a devastating move, don't feel rushed when using it. While a fight has broken out, I'm not able to hit more than 1 or 2 champions with Crowstorm. By looping around the side and waiting, I'm able to hit a larger group of enemies, forcing everyone to scatter while taking down Alistar and Lee Sin. Crowstorm is also easy to land when your opponents are playing defense. Here Annie, Pantheon, and Lee Sin are defending one of their outer turrets. Crowstorm over the wall forces them to run, but still picks up 2 kills, allowing it to push into their base for the win. Fiddlesticks is extremely dominant in early game Dominion. Anytime I see an opponent, I just cast Dark Wind, Terrify, and Drain in sequence. Every time I do this, I force Vladimir away, and run back into the minion wave to farm up gold and experience. As a result, one of his teammates comes in to help, but I still neutralize the Boneyard and pick up a kill before retreating. I go for a cooldown reduction-centric build on Dominion, which allows me to use Crowstorm frequently. On my first use, I take down Kennen with Vladimir nearby. On low health, I head over to the quarry and grab a health relic. As Vladimir foolishly chases, I land Terrify into Drain, taking him down inside my capture point. frequent use of Drain gives Fiddlesticks amazing sustain in close battles. I come down to support the Quarry, casting Dark Wind before focusing Tryndamere with Terrify into Drain. After taking him down, I move on to Kennen despite my low health. Terrify and Drain deal significant damage, but he stuns me almost immediately. Thanks to my max cooldown reduction, Drain comes back off of cooldown and I take him down with Dark Wind into Drain. Even still, the battle isn't over, as Katarina comes in. I know her Shunpo outranges my abilities, so I head down toward the health relic to block her line of sight. As she nears, I open with Terrify into Drain. I regain enough health that I can tank her Shunpo into Death Lotus with about 200 health remaining. For runes, I take Magic Penetration Marks, Ability Power per level Seals, Ability Power per level Glyphs, and Flat Ability Power Quintessences. This setup gives me extremely high damage on my abilities, which is my goal with Fiddlesticks. My masteries are 9-0-21, taking Magic Penetration in offense and pretty much everything in utility. I take Smite in Classic, Ghost in Dominion, and Flash in both game types. In Classic, I open with an Amplifying Tome and a Health Potion. I grab Cage's Lucky Pick and Boots' Speed as soon as possible. I grab Rabadon's Death Cap and Zhonya's Hourglass as my first major items, upgrading Sorcerer's Shoes along the way. By the end of the game, I want to complete my build with Void Staff, Rylate's Crystal Scepter, and Banshee's Veil. On Dominion, I open with a Prospector's Ring and Boots of Speed. I upgrade immediately to Ionian Boots of Lucidity and grab Morello's Evil Tome for max cooldown reduction. I then complete my build the same as in Classic, with Rabadon's Death Cap, Zhonya's Hourglass, Void Staff, and Rylate's Crystal Scepter. Thanks for tuning in to the Fiddlesticks Champion Spotlight. Please subscribe to the Riot Games YouTube channel above, and don't forget to thumbs us up just below the video.